say Roger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roger.
Like Star Wars. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Rebootleggers. This is a comedy podcast where we do reboots of movies and other things. I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
And I'm the ghost of Productivity Past.
Yeah, we haven't done an episode in a while because, and you'd think I don't want to blame it on the self-isolation and the COVID because that hasn't actually affected my daily life all that much. But for some reason, it made us all not really want to do anything.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording, it is April 12th, and you guys know what that means.
It's Bunny Day.
It's fucking Bunny Day, which means after today, we can be done with eggs and.
At the time of this episode's release, for the last 3 days, we haven't had to deal with eggs.
We haven't had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been free of eggs clogging up our trees and our rivers and our sky balloons. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of shooting down a balloon holding a present and only to find an egg inside.
I'm sick of fishing and only finding eggs because I'm already like so bad at fishing.
I'm super sick of thinking I'm about to catch a nice big sea bass and then
Just
find out that it's a
thick
goddamn
sea hog,
egg.
and then it's just a
Oh
stupid.
my God, Frank!
Wait, did you catch a sea hog?
No, I wish.
Is that what did Blathers have to say about
I'm on the
sea
lookout
hog?
though. I think there's a hidden section of the Critterpedia. I'm part of a group of explorers
Critterpedia
that seek to discover
at night.
secrets. Mm-hmm.
After dark.
After dark.
Critterpedia after dark.
We got those sea hogs. You got sky hogs. It's all just different kinds of hogs.
It's mostly hogs.
You said it.
Interesting. But no, I cannot wait for Zippy the bunny to leave my island and be gone for return to whence he came.
Yeah, because I need to get down. I need to get down to actual business of complaining about my residence to Isabel.
Right. Have you still not kicked Buck off?
No, because I didn't want my first interaction with Isabel to be, "Hey, welcome to my island. I gotta talk to you about someone."
Welcome to Crosstalk, the show within a show where we discuss Animal Crossing.
It's weird how I don't want to hurt my video game characters' feelings and have awkward interactions with video game characters.
Well, it doesn't help that she's like, oh, good, I don't like confrontation.
Right, she's like, oh, thank God, I do not
I'm like, I don't either. That's why I'm coming to you.
That's literally your job, Isabel. Anyway, today we're going to reboot Gone with the Wind, the first movie ever, I think, from what
I don't
I've heard.
think that's true.
No?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I'm 90% sure it was the first time anyone they invented
I'm pretty sure
the
it's the
camera
first.
for
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's the first movie ever made.
Not that one with the train?
No, that was just
all that was
a drawing.
after. See, the thing is that once they it was olden times, right? So
this
everything they filmed, you had to be rich to record audio. All the silent movies were just people that were had like a normal student budget.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But here's where I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me this was the first movie ever made.
Yeah.
Then how come at the 12th Academy Awards it received 10 Academy Awards?
We'll see. When it came out, they did one Academy Award every month that year.
Right. Yeah. When they decided to start having the Academy Awards, they were already like we need to catch up. We need to start rating movies. So they just had 12 all in a row. And all of them only had Gone with the Wind.
What's kind of weird too is that when they decided it, there had already been like 4. When they decided to start having them, they were like, should we have them? But there had already been 4 of them.
Because they used to give awards to academies, not movies.
Right.
Academy Awards. And then when Gone with the Wind came out, they decided they'd rather rate movies.
Yeah, they used to just rate like Swedish boarding schools, like fencing academies. I think there was like a stamp collecting one that won one year, and that was super upsetting.
The 8th or 9th one involved like military academies.
Yeah.
So this is also the longest movie ever made?
I think so.
Well, this is the longest movie, I think, commercially released in theaters because it's about 4 hours.
Oh my God, it is the longest movie ever.
The original version of the script called for a 6-hour movie.
So if you add the overture, intermission, entr'acte, and exit music, it is 234 to 238 minutes. Guys, that's too long for a movie.
So this is just all
that's
of the
longer
Avengers.
than right. We're getting
or
back
just
to that
Infinity
point.
War and then a little bit of another one. Or Endgame, sorry.
Endgame, yeah.
How long was Endgame? That was a full 3 hours, right?
Yeah, I think it
Something
was
like
like
that.
255.
Oof. We're just...
The length of, when people say the length of movies, I never knew this. Do they include or don't include the credits?
They do include the
runtime
credits.
includes credits.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they fucking cheat. That's what I was checking.
Here's the thing.
No, excuse me. The credits are absolutely part of the movie. These people worked insanely hard on this film.
Yeah, Francis.
All right, so it's 181 minutes for Endgame. So it does cut 3 hours.
It's just a nice 3 hours. I'm at the point in my life where if a movie is under 2 hours, I am super stoked about it. When I was in, like, I
just want
remember
to romp.
I remember when just, it's low commitment. I'm not losing my afternoon to it. I remember when The Dark Knight came out, that movie is 2.5 hours long. And I remember being in theaters and looking at my watch and realizing it was halfway through and being like, fuck yeah, I still have an entire second half of this movie. And now I remember my friend invited me a couple years back to go see Dunkirk with him. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's only an hour 47. Hell yeah. Like, I'll go see that. Like,
Did you guys know that the working title of Infinity War and Endgame in production, like the fake ones they used to book things, was Mary Lou? Mary Lou was Infinity War, and Mary Lou 2 was Endgame's like fake title.
Do you know what the first Captain America's was?
No.
Frostbite.
Oh.
Guess who
But
really
so,
liked that
like-
one?
So like
I did.
I
You
get it
did.
when like people are starting things, right? But like if you see Robert Downey Jr.'s and and you're like, "Oh, I bet you he is filming Mary Lou." Like, no, you absolutely know they're filming Avengers.
I'm pretty
Like,
sure they do a pretty good job of like covering his face
Ooh.
with acid and stuff before he goes
When-
in.
Acid. When I worked at the movie theater, we would get like the real cases to assemble like all the movies and stuff. And the only one I really remember, King Kong, the big King Kong movie,
The Peter
right?
Jackson one? Yeah.
Yeah, that one was called Tiny Dancer.
Nice.
Yeah,
So were you a reel operator?
I was.
You had to like switch the
Oh,
reels and everything?
You had to crank the handle?
Well, I didn't have to switch the reels. I'd have to like build them.
Oh.
So like you build them all on like as one huge
Big long
big
tape.
reel, and
What-
then you feed it through the projector. Yeah.
What do they do now? They just hit play on the laser disc?
They basically
Right?
get like an external hard drive with like a bunch of instructions.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and
what
like
does that
and like the
person
external
do?
hard drive like isn't allowed to leave the room and like all kinds of shit.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so then the person,
Like you get an external hard drive in the mail because they don't keep anything like they're not going to upload it because then people will leak
Right.
it. Like
So then does that hard drive have every movie? So does every theater have every like every discrete theater inside the larger building that it makes up the movie theater? Does every screening room have every movie on a hard drive? Or is
No,
it
I
like,
bet
don't
studios
know, yeah.
like I bet studios send out like the hard drive.
there should be a movie where someone has to heist a movie hard drive out of a movie theater.
Do you know how easy that would be?
It'd probably be pretty easy. You just
It
pay
would be
the operator like
insanely
$10.
easy. It would be absurdly
So does
easy.
that? So is the operator like the guy behind the glass? Is he just there basically now to make sure that nobody takes the hard drive? Like, what is his job now? Just hit play
Like,
and sit there?
I don't know. I got out of the game before they updated to the future tech. When I was there, my job was to like make sure the movies played on time and like build all the reels and attach all of the trailers and make sure that like the theater wouldn't explode.
Right.
Every time I watch the movie
Wait, what
The
was that last
Holiday.
one?
No, don't worry about it.
Was that a big risk?
So every time I watch the movie The Holiday, I get crazy anxiety because that film reel kept breaking.
Oh, man.
And it would set off like a crazy loud alarm
Oh,
up in
my
the
God.
projection booth to be
Oh,
like, oh, you gotta
boy.
go fix this. And
That-
so every time I watch that movie and there's like a specific scene where it kept happening, I like have a minor panic attack.
When things don't happen like that, are you just sitting in the booth then just watching the movie? Like you just get to watch the movie as your job? Or do you have stuff you got to be doing back there?
There's stuff you can be doing. Like you could be flirting with all of the youths that are also working. You could
But only if
be-
you're also a youth at the time, I would recommend.
Yeah, you could be lamenting about the fact that nobody asked you to homecoming. You could.
So there's multiple youths back there in the booth while the movie's going?
No, there's only one youth up in the booth.
I see. Youth booth.
Only one
Youth booth.
Yeah.
Only one booth youth.
And I
yeah.
mean, this is just my theater. This is my theater that I was working at.
Sure. Well, if any of you are current booth youths,
Holy shit.
let us know what it's like up in there because I'm curious. That sounds like the easy
certain
job.
Companies have stopped using hard drives and started using like encrypted direct satellite links.
Nah.
What?
That seems
Where
so dumb.
they let the theater like via satellite download the movie and then like turn off the connection.
Yeah,
Oh.
but do they download it? You know, I assume they download it days in advance and make sure the download runs
I
good.
assume
and-
they've got to.
How big do you think those files are? Like a
Probably,
gig?
I mean, that's probably pretty fucking big.
Yeah. How many bytes do you think, if you had to guess?
So many. Like I would say near 100.
At least 100
gigabytes.
100. Ooh, that's a lot of bytes. So we're gonna reboot Gone with the Wind today, as I've
The
said.
longest movie. and this will be
The
our
first
longest episode
and
to
longest
correspond.
movie ever. And none of us have seen this movie. The thing I know about this movie is it's the first it's the first movie.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Nope, that's not it.
That's not it.
Damn it.
They did a swear on it, though. They did the first movie swear, and it was only damn. It's kind of an underwhelming swear. But if they said damn so the rest of us could say fuck.
They frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
They walked so we could fuck.
Gross.
I've always depended on the kindness of strangers. This movie.
That is this movie, I think, right?
I don't know.
Is that...
I've-
What does she mean by that? Regardless of if that's this movie or not. Why is that a thing that you would tell someone you just met, that you've always relied on the kindness of strangers? What does that mean?
So that line is a streetcar named Desire.
Shit. Okay.
No, that one is Stella.
No, that one is
Oh,
Stella.
you're right. That's the only line.
And each movie only has one line. Like we know this. We do.
It's wild that it was 4 hours, by the way.
They just said "damn" over and over for 4 hours.
It was wild.
It was
for the
like
time.
It was like which is the fuck scene from The Wire is a direct homage to the whole damn movie of Gone with the Wind, where it's just like, what if we just said one word forever? So this movie, from what I can gather, is about a woman named Scarlett O'Hara, who I'm disappointed to learn is not like a Carmen Sandiego criminal lady, because that's who I always picture when I think Scarlett O'Hara. Because that name sounds like a bank robber.
I've been doing a lot of... I do this thing where I watch a lot of Say Yes to the Dress on YouTube.
Sure.
And-
As we all do in this time of quarantine.
And I've noticed a lot of the... Because there's a UK one, right? And I've noticed in a lot of the UK clips, if the dress is large enough, everyone immediately says, oh, that's very Scarlett O'Hara. Oh, that's very Gone with the Wind.
No, I'm just going
Because the dress is huge.
Gone with the Wind, big dress.
Scarlett O'Hara dress. It's a pretty big dress I'm seeing here, but it's green.
It's a pretty
That's
big.
a pretty big dress.
I feel like I'd see that at a cotillion.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't wear this dress at a wedding. This is like an outdoor. This, I think it's got.
I mean, over 80 years before the first poodle skirt too.
I think they might have snuck. So it's got leaves, all like leaf patterns all over it.
Big
I
hoops.
think they snuck a marijuana weed in there. I bet.
How reinforced do you think
Ruh-roh.
the hoops in this dress are?
Oh, they gotta be steel.
Steel
Or
hoops,
wood.
buddy.
Can you bludgeon a man with them? You think?
Bro, if you try hard enough.
Do you think a woman ever killed a man with her hoop dress?
Absolutely.
I feel like it had to happen,
Oh,
right?
that's badass.
I want that in this movie.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this movie is about Scarlett O'Hara who she's in love with a guy named Ashley, but then instead falls in love with a guy named Rhett, and then the Civil War happens.
in its entirety, and then afterwards.
Just a couple of hours of civil war.
There are some. She's got some slaves named Mammy and Pork. Don't love.
To be clear,
that.
this happens in the South, so things aren't going well.
Yeah,
for them during the Civil
In
War.
First
Atlanta.
things first, get rid of those.
Yeah, Scarlett learns that her mother has died of typhoid fever. Her father has become senile. She works in the cotton fields herself. She chases away a scalawag, and scalawag has its own Wikipedia
Scalawag
entry,
is linked
fun.
on Wikipedia now, and that's something that.
Her father tries to chase
Holy
away
shit,
the scalawag.
that's an actual, in United States history, a scalawag is a white Southerner who supported the Reconstruction after the American Civil War.
Fucking scalawags. Wait. No, scalawags
So it's not
are
really
good?
an insult.
What's Reconstruction? That was good, right? I don't know the history.
The period in American history, which lasted from 1863 to 1877, it was a significant chapter for American civil rights.
Okay. So it seems like it's a good thing, and the scalawags are fine. But you've also got like carpetbaggers who are like Northerners who came to live in the South, I think. But anyway, so then her dad dies. He falls off a horse chasing a scalawag.
Oh, hold on. Three
It hurt
visions
the
of.
South a bit.
Oh no, just kidding. Go on, please go without me.
Apparently, there were a lot of taxes on the South during Reconstruction. It seems like one of those like, why don't you guys help yourselves kind of thing. Doesn't seem great. Okay, so then Scarlett tricks her younger sister's fiance into marrying her somehow.
How? Hold on.
Maybe
how?
it's marrying her sister. Oh, it's marrying. No, yeah. What? She dupes her younger sister Sue Ellen's fiance, the middle-aged and wealthy general store owner Frank Kennedy, into marrying her by saying Sue Ellen got tired of waiting and married another suitor.
Oh, a Kennedy.
And Frank. So then Ashley and Rhett help. Oh, they make a night raid on a shanty town. Frank, Ashley, and Rhett. They make a night raid because Scarlett was attacked walking through that shanty town, and Frank died. So Frank died. Frank's funeral is barely over when Rhett proposes, and she says yes. So Scarlett now is in love with the second. If you're keeping up, this Rhett is the second guy she liked. She liked Ashley first, but Ashley's.
But then she liked Ashley. Then she married Frank, and now she's with Rhett.
She didn't quite marry Frank though. Frank got killed in the shanty town.
Oh, there was a shantytown killing, yeah.
I feel like this movie makes more sense in serialized daily installments at like 11 a.m. They go to Frank's mill. Scarlett and Ashley are seen embracing. So it's getting a little scandalous.
That is scandalous.
Yeah. So Rhett and Scarlett have a daughter named Bonnie Blue for some reason. Rhett should not have been in charge of naming this child.
What's Rhett's last name?
They don't.
Is his name Rhett
Butler?
Blue?
No, his name is Butler.
So they just give her is her middle name Blue?
Bonnet Blue Butler. You know, it's like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Ivy Blue. Come on.
Okay.
I did not know that their daughter's name was Ivy Blue.
Are you serious? How do you not know that?
One day, so Scarlett and Ashley are having a whole thing. They're seen by Ashley's sister, India, a woman named India, a white woman named India in 1862. And then she spreads rumors because of that. And then Rhett forces Scarlett to attend a birthday party for Ashley. And then I think he rapes her. Yep. Rhett kisses Scarlett against her will, stating his intent to have sex with her that night, and carries the struggling Scarlett to the bedroom. So, you know. Cool movie. 1930s.
Next morning, Rhett decides they want to get a divorce.
Oh, but he offers her a divorce. And she says no. She says no because it would be a disgrace. And then Rhett returns from an extended trip to London. Scarlett says, I'm pregnant. Rhett pushes her down some stairs, which causes her to miscarry. This is the movie that people are constantly saying is the best
absolutely
movie.
amazing.
This is the movie that like film assholes everywhere say is one of the best movies ever made.
Because it was so relatable. All these men are like, hey, I know that struggle.
So then Bonnie dies, Natch, after the unborn baby dies, and she tries to jump a fence with her pony. White people problems.
Do you think the fence post just went all the way through the horse into her? Is that... or
Probably.
Or what?
And then somebody named Melanie dies from a pregnancy complication. And then Scarlett consoles Ashley because I think Ashley married Melanie.
Melanie is Ashley's cousin.
Scarlett consoles Ashley.
Yeah,
Rhett
that's
prepares to leave Atlanta, having realized that it was him she truly loved all along and not Ashley. Scarlett pleads with Rhett to stay. So now Scarlett realizes that she does love her rapist, abusive husband. And this is when she begs him to stay, and he says no.
He says no.
And then this is when she says, but what am I going to do? And he says, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Rhett is the fucking hero in this movie. This man is the fucking hero, I think.
Why did you guys want to I mean, I see why you wanted to reboot this one.
It needs a change. I also had no idea the plot of this movie. This movie sounds bad. Okay, so
Can we make this a reality show kind of like The Circle?
So none of these people. Okay, let's get into our first segment called Love It or Leave It.
Love me or leave me or let me be lonely.
Where we talk about what we want to keep and what we want to get rid of. I think we're going to get rid of a bit. I imagine.
Yeah, I don't want any of these people to
I think we're
interact with each other.
transplanting the idea of this film to a different place and time.
I do. So I like that. I like what Rebecca just said, which was, I don't want any of these people interacting with each other. So let's take
Also,
the same
not
movie
one time in the
and
movie did you mention the wind.
Right?
So-
Where was the wind?
Do you know what else
Where's
was
the
gone?
wind in all
The
this?
wind, it's gone. You know what else is gone with it? All sorts of common sense.
What if the wind comes back?
I think the wind should be very
The wind
present.
returns. Gone with the wind too. The wind
The
returns.
wind returns.
The wind returns. Return of the Wind, or is that too Star Wars?
I think the wind returns is funny because otherwise it's, well, I don't know.
Return of the Wind makes me think of Lord of the Rings.
And not Return of the Jedi.
Correct.
Okay, so we're putting wind back. We're separating everyone. Same characters, but none of them will now see each other.
Ooh, okay, I figured it out.
Okay,
there
tell me.
is a hurricane or tornado, and everyone has to
bunkered
be like
down.
bunkered in their own places. But right, it's the
Separately.
future now, so we can all communicate via like we're doing now.
No couples, though, right?
There's some switcheroonies.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk about the switcheroonies.
Switcheroony
Rebecca, you
dudes?
flesh this out in your head while Frank and I move on.
Okay.
Have that report on my desk in 10 minutes.
Or I can make it super topical and just make it Gone with the Corona, like just make it very topical.
I don't want to accidentally do Love in the Time of Cholera.
I don't know that movie, Frank, so it's fair
I don't
game.
either.
If I've never heard of it, it means it's fair game.
It never existed, and I made it up.
That's copyright law. If you hadn't heard of it, there's two
If it-
there's two rules. If you hadn't heard of it, you're allowed to do whatever you want to it. If you have heard of it, you can steal it, but you have to say I don't own this. Those are the two rules.
If you put in the YouTube description, I do not own this,
The cops-
legally, there's nothing they can do.
you should see
And like honestly, you're white, so I think you'll be okay.
all the cybercrimes cops. You should see how many keyboards they break when they get to the description of a YouTube movie and it says I do not own any of this, and they're like, "Fuck,
Nerds.
foiled
All
again."
this work. He just tweeted it out.
So we're getting Rhett away from Scarlett because he fucking sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say right
Do you
now.
think he just starts in prison because he must have beaten up people before? Do
That's not a bad idea.
you think he's just in jail?
I want to make Rhett like a sad, defeated, like just sack of a man who just wants his kids back, but does not deserve his kids back and should never.
Well, he doesn't have any kids. They're all
Yeah,
dead.
Right,
he
he
made
killed them
sure
all.
he didn't have any kids.
Right. So he's even worse than that. God, this movie, it's like how.
Everyone in this movie is either bad or might as well be like a mannequin.
Like this is still on people's modern day lists of best movies ever made.
Yeah, because they're fake film philosophers or whatever.
They've like never
Guys,
actually seen this movie.
I've been watching How I Met Your Mother, and what if we made this into like a sitcom like How I Met Your Mother? Because Rhett is giving me huge Barney vibes.
Yeah, Rhett's very Barney Ted put together. Like I
And
suck,
Scarlett
but like what
is
if I
Robin
didn't
by
change?
dating everybody.
Yeah, but Robin has a bit more self-esteem than Scarlett seems to have. Well, that's not true. Robin has pretty low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is aligning more than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you've got your Ashley and your that's the big one. I can't remember his name.
The big one. Marshall?
I think
Yeah.
I think Ashley. I don't know. It kind of seems that like Ashley would be Ted because Scarlett is always just in love with him.
Oh, that's true.
God, that show ended so bad.
Yeah.
I think it
we're
kind of-
almost done with it. We're going to stop like right before it gets bad.
I think it kind of ran so bad is the thing. Maybe that's just my
Yeah.
opinion. I didn't start watching that show until they were already 6 seasons in, and I was watching it because Kelly loves it, and I was super into it until I caught up to live TV, and then as soon as I had to start waiting a week between episodes, I was like, oh, I actually hate all of these people and don't care to like come back next week.
Yeah, binging really
Right.
bumps up.
As soon as
A
I
lot of
couldn't
shows.
binge it, I was like, oh, I hate all of these people. They're horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so also, yes, that show should have ended with his wife saying, hello, I'm Tracy, and then him saying, and that's how I met your mother. And show ended. Show ends. Also, that show should have been a 10-minute conversation because nobody tells 9 years of history.
9 years about how I banged all these broads.
How I banged women who weren't your mom. How, can you imagine if someone said, hey, Scott, how did you and Rebecca become friends? I'm like, well, so, like, I follow someone on Twitter who Rebecca follows, but we weren't friends for, like, 4 years, and I never even followed her or ever talked to her for 4 years.
And,
but here's what happened in that 4 years with me and other friends.
And this isn't new ground, but I just Josh Radnor's already an adult. Is he supposed to grow up to be Bob Saget?
How does he turn into Bob Saget? What happens to him in the like? How rough? What even?
Because then, well, no. In the last episode, he stops telling them the story, and then there's a scene that happens in the modern day,
Where
and
it's
Josh
him.
Radner
And it's him.
speaks in Josh Radnor's voice.
And he's not at all Bob Saget.
Do you think? So from all the clips of him telling the story to his kids, we're from the perspective of him. Like they're looking at us, who is him, right? Do you think in Ted's head he sounds like Bob Saget?
Yeah.
I'd probably buy that. Also, talk
Yeah.
about a cushy gig, right? Every season, Bob Saget had to be in the booth for like a half hour. Like,
Yeah, right. He's just there.
That's how I feel about like a lot of voiceover stuff now. Like we watched Trolls World Tour the other day, and I can't watch animated things with big celebrities now because I just picture the celebrities in the booth.
Right, you were there for like a day.
Yeah, and
You
I
ever-
can guarantee they were not in the same room with each other. So I'm supposed to believe these interactions between
Right.
these characters.
That's been one of the biggest bummers of my adult life is realizing that most voiceover stuff doesn't happen all at the same time, and it's super rare. Like, I think Archer, they did it a few times until some
Bob's
people
Burgers
moved.
does, I think.
Bob's Burgers, they do half and half. Half of them live in LA, half of them live in New York. So yeah, like some of them interact. I know Teen Titans Go is like one of the only shows where everybody is always in the booth together and they all seem like they have such a fun time. But yeah, it was a huge bummer, and that's literally how I felt the entire time watching that new Lion King movie. I was like, oh, you all were just here for like 20 minutes separately.
That's how I felt about Lion King, and that's how I felt about Onward when I
Like,
watched Onward.
Yeah, Onward felt weird, where it's like, I don't really believe that any of you are talking to each other.
Yeah, right?
It's being an adult sucks because people make movies like Gone with the Wind and say they're really good, and then they like make other movies that should be good and are bad. Let's get into our
Are
next.
you telling me that the people who made Gone with the Wind made some follow-up movies that were not good?
I
And if
just-
so, could you name those movies?
I mean, I'm sure it's the
who was at the 13th Academy Awards the next month?
The next month.
I'm sure it's the same group of white dudes making bad movies. Let me tell you what director Victor Fleming went on to do right quick. Oh, nothing. No, I'm just kidding. He did a lot of movie. He did a movie called his final film. He did a movie called The Wet Parade. That's probably fine. How about the 1935 classic?
When I was a young boy.
It's just wet. It's not even raining either, is the weird thing. Like the parade's just super
We
wet.
went into the
I
city.
never knew that
To see the Wet
The Wizard of
Parade.
Oz came
To
out the same
see
year.
By the
Wet
same guy. Wizard of Oz
Parade.
came out the
Yeah,
same year, directed by the same guy.
He did them both.
You know the guy who forced Judy Garland to be like hopped up on cocaine constantly and ruined her life? He made Gone with
Oh
the
my
Wind.
god. I hate that.
Yeah, also he made a movie that I'm sure is really good. The 1935 classic The Farmer Takes a Wife. He took her. Where did he take her?
Where'd he go?
Where did he come from?
Come from Cotton Eye Joe.
Okay, let's get into our next segment called When and Where. And this is where we talked about setting and genre. So the setting is modern day. Genre is How I Met Your Mother sitcom. Is it still set in a hurricane where none of them can interact with each other?
Yes.
Does that work for a sitcom? That's more reality TV.
What about
Go on.
what about a tornado alley like LaPlace, but it's a hurricane alley, and dramatically convenient hurricanes force different groupings of people into each other's houses.
So like
it'll be like, there's a hurricane, oh no, and then like 3 of the characters will have to go in the same house, and then it's just kind of
so
like
every
brother.
episode
Yeah,
is a
this
different
is-
hurricane.
This is an episode of Broad City. Have you watched Broad City?
Not yet.
Okay.
I haven't.
I've heard it's very
It's
good.
very good. It's very good. But this is an episode. There is a hurricane, and a bunch of just random people are kind of shoved into an apartment.
So it's like 4
and-
bottle episodes put into one.
Yeah, but every episode's a bottle episode because of different hurricanes.
Oh, that'll
I
save so
like
much money on
that.
sets. That'll save so much money on sets because everyone
Save
will be
a lot.
Well, hold
bottled
on.
into the
Well,
same
are we doing a
ones.
movie, or are we doing a movie, or are we doing a TV show?
Oh, right. Let's do a movie, and then it's like
And then it's like a big dramatic,
it's like a fucking
like My Dinner with Andre.
No, but it's also like New Year's Eve or Love Actually, like all those ensemble movies. That's like,
Like a
8.
Gary
Oh,
Marshall?
you want vignettes?
Yeah.
You want this to be a Gary Marshall production?
I don't know. It's just a suggestion. You guys can veto.
I like the vignettes, and because then we can use fun pop songs in between the
And Taylor
stories.
Swift can be one of
And
the
Seth-
people?
Yeah.
And Seth Meyers can be dating Jessica Biel?
Yeah,
Am I
there you
saying
go.
that
That's
right?
exactly how this works.
Am I saying that right?
Am I saying that right?
Okay,
That is how they cast those movies. They just kind of toss names into a hat.
this shouldn't make sense. Okay. Keira Knightley with this guy?
it's always a question.
It's always
Are you guys? Someone at some point, someone looks right into the camera and says, "Like, are you guys buying this? Are we good?"
So I just found a fun random celebrity generator.
Oh, good. Okay, let's talk. Let's just dive right into our next segment
let's just
called
go.
Who Can It Be?
Can it be now?
Where we talk characters and casting. Generate me some celebrities. Who is
Okay.
ripped?
Yeah.
Well, I've got us a weird list.
Oh,
So the first one to appear is Katharine Hepburn, who's already a classic movie star.
but no longer with us.
Do they all need to be alive? Because this list also has Stephen Hawking. However, it has Stephen Hawking cast alongside James Dean, Jim Parsons, and Jaden Smith.
There's a lot of deads on this.
Well, for a very long time, have movies happened, and so a decent number of movie actors are now.
True. I'm wondering.
not alive.
I'm wondering. So the thing that Gone with the Wind was famous for was the first swear movie ever and first movie ever. But we need to do something equivalent today. That's like nobody would ever do this before because they weren't allowed.
Are we
Okay, here's a good
Are we
list.
talking full penetration?
No, we're not talking full penetration because that's the first place you might think, because there's a lot we've shown on TV now and on the screens that has already been done. Like there isn't much that
Guys,
hasn't been done.
I think I got us a good list.
Yeah?
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, number 1, Jeff Gordon.
The NASCAR guy?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
A NASCARman.
A NASCARman. And then number 2, Jessica Biel.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Question mark?
Question mark. Number 3, Kenny Chesney. Making his way from music over to film.
Is he the one
Number-
who's 2 people? Who's the country guy that's 2 people?
That's Garth Brooks.
And what's his other person?
Hey, babe.
Garth
What's
Brooks in a
Brooks's
wig.
alter ego? Chris Gaines.
That's so stupid.
That's it.
That's so fucking stupid. Why did he do that?
Okay, number 4. Number 4 is kind of out of left field, but I kind of dig it. It's Chuck Lorre. You might know him as creator of such hit shows as 2.5 Men, Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay. The guy who sucks. Okay.
He sucks, absolutely. Number 5, we got a hottie, Marissa Tomei.
Oh, super hottie. Aunt May herself and others.
And
Can,
then,
can we get Disney personnel?
Yeah.
yeah.
We have
Probably.
unlimited budget of $20, so we're good.
Oh, we're good.
Also coming out of left field, George W. Bush.
Oh, my goodness.
But then we do round out the list. We round out our top 8 with some 2 other hotties, Natalie Portman and Nicole Richie.
Okay. So no more deads on this list.
No deads on this list.
Well, so that's okay. So I'm fine with no deads, but I was going to say maybe the thing that this movie does that nobody it was ever supposed to be allowed to do is we actually cast a dead person for real and not just like, those CGI cameos we do when someone
Bernie's them.
Well, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking we do it like an actual CG version of them. Kind of like how we CG people who like died right before the movie finished, so we want to keep them in. But instead, now it's like they've been dead for years, and we put them in the movie with the soul-stealing CGI that everyone is horrified by ethically. Like when they were like gonna do a Prince hologram, and everyone was like, "This is horrible." Prince explicitly said this would be the worst thing ever, and then they backed down. But what if?
Well, then why don't we
instead
do that
went
with
ahead?
like Clark Gable and Vivian Lee, the original stars?
Works. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We'll do CGI Clark Gable, and everyone will be like, "You can't do that in a movie." And I'm like, "Show me the rule. Show me the rule that says dogs can't play basketball."
Yeah, show me the rule in the book.
And then and then 100 years
And that's the
from
opening
now,
crawl in the beginning. Is show us the rule.
Show us the rule that says we can't do this.
It's like in Transformers 5 when that guy carries around a laminated copy of the law that says, "This is why I'm allowed to bang your underage daughter, Mark Wahlberg." Some writer definitely ran into this in real life and needed this as a soapbox.
God.
So so then 100 years from now, people are going to think this movie is one of the best movies ever made because we did a thing that no one was allowed to do before.
We really pushed the bar like they did.
We pushed the bar. We pushed it. It's so high, the bar.
And then a little bit to the side.
We shoved it right in God's kidney. God was like, "You've pierced my side with this bar. You get my powers now." And then we become God is what happens.
Well, we have to eat. Yeah,
You have to eat him and then become him, right? So we're gonna. Also, just add real quick, Rebecca. Give me Colin Dillon on that list.
Yeah. We'll figure them out.
Okay, so who is Scarlett?
Colin Dillon both play Bonnie Blue.
Just wearing a dress.
Are they now twins, Bonnie and Blue?
It's like it's so that we can save money on because there's child acting laws, right? So they can only each film so long per day.
So it's it's like when they did, that movie with Adam Sandler, and then they did that show Friends.
No, Friends was only the one. Friends was only the one of them. It turns out. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Was Big Daddy also only the one of them, or was it both of them?
I think Big Daddy might have been both of them. I'm not positive though. Because Big Daddy's a movie, so and he's in it a lot, whereas the kid in Friends is only in it very rarely. They did an interview with that one recently, and he was like, "Oh man, I was so in love with Jennifer Aniston," and everyone was like making such a big deal about it, and I was like, "Yeah, we all were at that point in time. Like, this isn't what's special about this." So I like that they're both Bonnie Blue, and I'm imagining, it's just Cole and Dylan wearing, a plantation dress, big big hat with the ribbon around it, and oh wait, but this movie takes place modern day. No, this is still what they wear. And,
no, yeah, this is all checking out for people that ride horses.
A big wig of golden curls, like a Southern belle, but like 8 years old. Yeah. Okay. So,
you want Shirley Temple, is what I'm saying.
Exactly, Frank. I want Shirley Temple, but
you want those
Shirley
tight
Temple.
curls.
Tight curls, Dylan. Tighten them up. Okay. So, who is our lead, Scarlett O'Hara?
Scarlett O'Hara, or what's her name? Vivian Lee. I thought.
Oh, we're gonna give her the lead again. We're not gonna do that. Okay.
If we've got the budget to bring back Clark Gable, why don't we?
Well, I didn't know that we were going to give Clark Gable his original role either. I thought maybe because how a lot of time when actors come back to be in reboots, they don't play their original selves. I'm fine with it. No, I'm fine with it. We'll just get those two, and then
then why don't we have Jeff Gordon and Jessica Biel?
Okay. Is Kenny Chesney the one who's dating No Doubt?
No, that's the guy from The Voice.
Kid Rock. Right.
No, absolutely not. Gwen Stefani knows better. Blake Shelton.
That's right. Okay, so all right, so they are now. Who is he? Jeff Gordon is Rhett Butler.
Yes. Yes.
Who is Ashley?
And is he wearing his? I think contractually he has to wear his.
He's
NASCAR
wearing
number.
his NASCAR.
He has to wear a suit. Yeah.
So he's not wearing the NASCAR suit. He's wearing regular clothes all the time, but his
this
regular
has
clothes
number all over.
Well, it's not just his number; it's also all the brands, just all over his clothes all the time.
He can have costume changes, but it has to have the patches and the number.
Yeah, he's just wearing like a regular T-shirt and jeans, but it's covered.
Or
in,
like he has like a
Pepsi
winter coat
patches.
in one scene, and it also has the numbers and the patches.
Is he
There's
the
a
Home
scene where
Depot
he's
guy?
shirtless at the beach, and his shorts have the numbers and the patches.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's the DuPont one.
Like it's just always got to be there.
Let me talk about his brands. Let me talk.
And he's just drinking a big mug of crude oil.
You can't drink oil.
No, Pepsi, right? Doesn't Pepsi sponsor him?
He is.
What's the difference? Whackity schmackity doo.
Oh, yep. He's got Pepsi, Fritos, DuPont, Chevy,
We've got some good screen options.
Tyvek. Oh, he's got that Quaker State. Yeah, we're gonna have some great.
Tyvek. Okay, so his house is under construction.
His house is constantly under construction. Okay. Who is?
So then Kenny Chesney,
Yeah, is who? Is him?
Ashley.
Ashley.
Wait.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or wait, no. I thought it was Kenny Chesney and Jessica Biel as the main two.
No, I thought it was Jeff Gordon.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. You're right. Kenny Chesney is Ashley, and hang on. Who else are the characters?
Isn't there a
Who is okay? So is Clark Gable gonna be Scarlett O'Hara's simple father who dies chasing a scalawag, a modern day scalawag? And then who's George W. Bush? Is he maybe he's he's Frank. He's Frank.
No. Frank Kennedy.
Frank Kennedy, who dies doing something. Oh, there's someone named Butterfly McQueen in this movie. That's a real person's name. As Prissy, house servant. I see.
Oh my god.
I see what's happening. Who's Melanie? Ashley's cousin? That's got to be Natalie Portman.
Melanie is the one who
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei. I think we got too many celebrities for this movie, which is fine. We're just going to have some unused ones in the background, which is fine.
That's fine. A paycheck's a paycheck.
Yeah, they'll be happy to do it. Natalie Portman would love a break from Thor, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into our final segment. I think we've cast everybody, but if we haven't, I don't care. It's called What's Going On? And this is where we plot this movie out. And here's the thing. I think we barely have to do anything to make this movie better than in the original. So let's not overthink it, is all I'm saying up front. Like,
Okay.
we're not shooting for Midsummer here. We gotta we could settle for like Austin Powers or like Scary Movie would be a better movie than the original Gone with the Wind.
I don't give a damn, baby.
Splorch.
You've killed me. I'm dead.
You guys can't. I was doing the fingers too.
I assumed.
Does he do fingers?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, what are the fingers that I'm supposed to be imagining?
Like it was like a 70s kind of wiggle.
Oh, where he looks like he's doing magic at you?
Or I thought finger guns. Is it not finger guns?
Austin Powers fingers.
No. Oh, don't Google that.
Hands. Hang on, let me just open an incognito window real quick.
Oh, it's giving me like all.
Yeah, you ever have to Google something like so embarrassing, you gotta
Dr.
open
Evil.
incognito window.
All the time. Frank,
I was doing here. Let me send you the.
Are you doing
I was doing
Dr.
like
Evil?
the movie poster where he's just like pointing in two different directions.
just pointing in two different directions.
Like he was just pointing.
Okay, so this movie's set during a hurricane. Are they still
Oh,
doing...
and you know what? Kenny Chesney gotta walk into a room at some point and be like, "Here I am, rock me like a hurricane."
Is that but that's not a Kenny Chesney
did he
song.
cover that?
That's not a
Or-
Chesney
No,
song.
I know. I just think it would be fun if Kenny Chesney said it.
Oh,
Okay.
because we have hurricanes
Yeah,
in the movie.
The movie's all hurricane all the time.
I got you.
Okay,
All right,
so
we're here. I'm here.
Who are our pairings, I guess, our groupings for this movie? Because they're all grouped separately, right?
Well, I mean, they all kind of commingle.
Okay, so it's one of those. What's the plot? Is it still a woman who wants 3 men?
I think keep it simple. Yeah.
But I think we need to kind of empower her a bit more instead of just being. I think maybe she gets 3 men and she doesn't give a fuck.
What if she goes to one house and it's like, because what's his name is going to be married to Marissa Tomei, and she's like, oh, I don't like this. So she decides to brave the hurricane, and everyone's like, no, don't go out there. She's like, well, I can't be here. And so then she goes to the other house where what's his name is, and then that's all kind of terrible. And so then she's like, oh, no, I'm going to brave the hurricane again. And everyone's like, oh, no, don't do that. And then she goes to like a third house during the hurricane.
This is the best. This is the best pitch for a movie ever. I'm pretty sure this is how Hollywood pitches go.
Have we decided what our envelope push is going to be?
It's that we've got CGI Clark Gable in.
That's right. That's right.
For the entire movie, he's there. He's not just like.
And they're plugging all of Jeff Gordon's like brand endorsements, right?
Do you guys remember how upset everyone got when we did CGI Audrey Hepburn in those commercials, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? This is gonna be that times a billion."
We did? When was that?
It was for like Dove chocolate or something.
What?
That's not even related.
Yeah, it was for Dove. I'll send it to you. Yeah, it was the whole thing. Everyone got real. It was in 2014. Everyone was like, "The fuck?"
I'm pulling it up. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. And I think like Moon River's playing because that song's great. I don't think we need to do anything to Rebecca's pitch, and that's the movie.
No, yeah, we got it.
I think at one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Do you think at one point she gets like hurricane
it's a
powers from being
one-take
out in the
wonder.
hurricane for so long, so many times?
Probably, yeah. Oh no, we find
That's
out
why she's got that big dress.
you know how at the end of the first Men in Black, he says
They reveal that we're all into Marvel.
You don't cry when it rains. It rains because you cry.
Oh, that's the second
Hurricanes
one.
That's the second Men in
are
Black.
Scarlett O'Hara's. Oh, I'm sorry. The hurricanes are Scarlett's inner turmoil manifesting.
That's good. I like that, and also I'm now vividly remembering that scene because I remember it's Tommy Lee Jones. The way he delivers, he says, "It rains because you cry, baby." Like I so vividly remember him calling.
Ew, okay, you know what?
He doesn't say baby.
He does.
But,
He
I
does
didn't
say
like
baby.
that
He
at all, Scott, and I'm
100%
gonna
says baby because she's his
I
daughter.
didn't like that at all, and I'm going to ask you to never, ever do it again.
You don't like it because it's me, or because you were thinking of Tommy Lee Jones saying it?
Both. A little bit of both.
Oh.
Well, it's a bummer that he's apparently like not a great person to be around.
Frank, we recently watched Batman Forever, featuring Thomas Lee Jones and James Carey, and we learned the story of how much Tommy Lee Jones hated working with Jim Carrey. And according to Jim Carrey, he went to introduce himself to Tommy Lee Jones, and Tommy Lee Jones basically told him to fuck off and he hates him, but he also told him the funniest thing that one man can say to another man, especially if they're both actors, but just in general. And he said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery." Which is just the funniest, like, it's the funniest thing any person can say to another person.
Okay, so near the end of the movie, Clark Gable is going to address the cast of the film, all trapped in the same hurricane house, and say, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
And everyone will be like, "Is that a Tommy Lee Jones reference?" And we'll be like, "Yeah." Yeah, you know, he's not in this movie or anything.
That is our new, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I cannot sanction your
I cannot
buffoonery.
sanction your buffoonery.
Everyone gasps. Okay, let's get into the very last secret segment where we talk about food and drink. What are we eating and drinking? I think there's got to be a Mountain Dew Hurricane something, right?
With the wind foods.
1861 American recipes. Hard tag.
It rains because you're sad is what he says. You're welcome, but there is, in fact, someone made a YouTube video, my favorite scenes from MIB2. It rains because you're sad, baby.
No.
Oh, no.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm looking at a recipe called Civil War beef stew, and let's see what's in it.
Beef, probably. I think.
Well, yeah.
I feel like I'm watching a YouTube video.
Beef stew meat, 3 quarts of water, 2 tablespoons pork lard, and then the rest is just normal ingredients.
We need iced tea. Like, is there an iced tea Mountain Dew?
I think you just pour Mountain Dew into an iced tea.
Mountain Dew
It's
right
like
into some iced
like
tea.
a dirty Arnold Palmer,
Yeah, I like a nuclear Arnold Palmer.
filthy Arnold.
So
Filthy Arnold.
if we're gonna quote the book, we would need ham at one end of the table and fried chicken at the other.
Oh fuck yeah!
And then we would need side items as
Boston
collard
Market.
greens, fried squash, snap beans, and stewed okra.
Okay.
And then for dessert, a Georgia peach cobbler.
Okay, all those things. This is what you have to assemble at your own home before you can watch our new movie. And then you get some iced tea and pour some Mountain Dew in it. Probably regular Mountain Dew, but whatever. Whatever.
If we're gonna keep the length too, you can probably start cooking as the movie begins, and then you'll be ready to eat at the end.
Yeah. Well, even probably like before the end, so then you've got a whole meal within the movie.
Yeah, you gotta eat the entire.
Because you don't want
meal.
to start eating as soon as the movie's ending. You need to have movie.
Right.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it
And
for
no
us.
popcorn.
What happened?
Hold on.
Rebecca's got
No.
a breaking news
Mountain Dew and KFC released a new drink
just now.
in
Please tell me it's chicken flavor.
June 2019.
What?
Dark meat soda.
It's called Sweet Lightning.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's a collaboration between Mountain Dew and KFC. And instead of classic citrusy vibes that we expect, we got notes of peach and honey.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect for this.
It tastes
perfect.
like grandma's homemade sweet tea.
Oh, perfect. Put that in your iced tea. Or just drink that.
It's still Mountain Dew, right?
It's still Mountain Dew Sweet
it's
Lightning.
still Mountain
It
Dew.
tastes like
It's called
grandma's
Sweet
sweet tea,
Lightning.
but
Can
also
you-
if right after you drank Mountain Dew.
Do you think getting to be the team of people who gets to name new Mountain Dews, do you think their job is incredibly fun or like incredibly stressful? Like I feel like it's one of the two. Either they like it's a party city there all the time, or they are like stressed out of their minds trying to come up with the cool new Mountain Dew name.
They have to have like just a wall of all the things they've already used, and they're not allowed to
Right?
like they're not allowed to use the word lightning again.
They're just
ever.
saying all the like extreme words they can think of, and they're like, "Fuck, we already
like
did that
they're-
one."
Like we already used voltage in 2006.
You got
Shit.
Voltage, Live Wire,
Like-
Sweet Lightning.
We're running out of
A lot
words.
of electric
So-
dews.
Sweet Lightning looks like the pee-pee that you take first thing in the morning.
Rebecca, see a doctor.
Yeah, it's that rich bubbly pee-pee.
It's that rich, like, dark yellow.
Guys, go to the doctor. Jesus.
It's that foamy.
And, like, hot.
Okay, so that's gonna do it for us. This is the end of our episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We love you so much. And if you like the show, please give us a good rating and review on Apple Podcasts and tell your friends because we need them. Until next time, I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
I'm Rebecca Frost. I couldn't think of anything fun.
And Frank and Rebecca, I need a
Piss.
I need the password from you guys.
Piss.
Just one word from each of you.
Piss.
Damn.